With the power of the saber blade. Lost in the rhythm of the galaxy, lost in the rhythm of my mind. Watching and waiting, hiding in the crowd, fired up for what I'm gonna find. Dark voices calling from another world, tells me to leave it all behind. Hyper on adrenaline and ecstasy, another victim scared to go outside. Better run, better hide, cause I'm coming for you tonight. Gotta scream, gotta bleed, with the power of the saber blade. With the power of the saber blade. With the power to destroy, we'll touch the rainbow stars tonight. In the moonlight shining, take them all out far behind. In their eyes now blinding, so slice them all, born to vaporize them all. Now feel the everlasting power of the saber blade. High pulsing energy within my sword, take them down, there is no other way. Feeling like a hurricane about to blow, here it comes exploding in your face. Do what you will, I'll take it to the edge, I will follow every move you make. Pounding with the power of a raging bull, lost for another word to say. Better hide, better run, it's a major malfunction. Down you go, to your knees, with the power of the saber blade. With the power of the saber blade. With the power to destroy, we'll touch the rainbow stars tonight. In the moonlight shining, take them all out far behind. In their eyes now blinding, so slice them all, born to vaporize them all. Now feel the everlasting power of the saber blade. Outside a new sun rising, no way to even stand. Passed out, there was no warning, wait for the outstretched hand. My soul will always find you, no matter where you are. You're always near but not so far from the saber blade. With the power of the saber blade. With the power to destroy, we'll touch the rainbow stars tonight. In the moonlight shining, take them all out far behind. In their eyes now blinding, so slice them all, born to vaporize them all.
That Dragon Force song got me pumped, bro. Makes me wonder, what is the first song? What is the first song that we're gonna christen the Dark Horse with on Friday? I don't know. I might have to ask Jesse, man. I may need some help with that one. AEW Dynamite, Montreal. Solid show tonight, man. Headlined by Adam Copeland. Adam! Copeland against Christian Cage for the AEW TNT title. Kind of figured they would go the route that they did tonight. Some people didn't like it, don't really care. I thought what they did was great. And it gives us match number 2 at World's End. So all in all, a success. MJF was supposed to team with Samoa Joe tonight. A certain devil took out MJF and smashed a beer bottle over his head. We don't appreciate that type of violence in the OTS venue. And the AEW Continental Classic, we got a banger next week, ladies and gentlemen. Moxley and Swerve are undefeated so far through 3 weeks. They meet head-to-head next week. Oh, my goodness. We're going to talk about why I think neither man will win the tournament. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard me. We're going to the OTS venue. We're walking downstairs to my mother's basement. Jesse's got the drinks on ice. And when I get there, I want to know, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there.
Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking.
Guys, thank you so very much for joining us right here on Off the Script. This is your AEW Dynamite post show for December 6th, 2023. I am your host, JD from New York. As always, coming to you live from the OTS venue. Thank you guys so very much for joining us on your Wednesday evenings, wherever you may be. As always, joined by my very good friend and co-host, public enemy number 1 in the pro wrestling space, the Chi-Town Smart. Jesse, what's going on, man?
Not much, bro. What's good with you, man?
I don't know what's good with me, man. I'm stressing out. We're getting the Dark Horse on Friday.
Oh man, it's a beautiful thing, bro.
I know.
I texted you about that the other day, man. I hope you heeded my advice. I was very serious, man.
I know.
I mean, kind of ridiculous. You don't need 2 rear-wheel drive vehicles.
Well, I'm hoping it doesn't snow in New York City, man, this winter.
Bro, get out of that first generation one you got. Get you a nice little 4x4. Pick your poison. Don't matter which one. Get you something to drive when you don't want to.
Get myself a little Kia.
Yeah, whatever. Just something you don't give it 2 shits about. Just keep liability on it.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. This is who we're talking about. Get your Porsche Cayenne. All right. Get your backup vehicle, Porsche Cayenne, all-wheel drive.
Nah, we're not gonna go that route, man. Imagine me getting to a fucking Porsche Cayenne with my vanilla oat milk latte from Starbucks, bro. Can you picture that?
Yeah, I can. I legit can. Yeah.
Man.
No, man, get the Mach. Get that Mach EV.
How much money you think I'm worth over here, man? This podcast ain't big time yet, This guy, man.
To anybody who don't know how much money this guy makes, man, I'm in the same boat with you. Until I started doing what he does and I saw how much money I make. And then I look at his numbers and he don't have to tell me shit. I already know. All right.
Now listen, man. You'll get there.
I'll get there.
You'll get there, man.
One day.
AEW got there in Montreal. I thought tonight was a solid show. We got week 3 of the AEW Continental Classic. We got Christian Cage versus Adam Copeland in the main event, which I know we predicted would be a bait and switch. We got a full-on match tonight. I thought what they produced was very good. We'll get into that in a little bit.
Yeah, I think they gave us a little bit of both, or a little bit of what I was saying they were going to do and a little bit of what they advertised. We got somewhere in the middle there.
Yeah, I thought what they did was very good, and we will discuss why it all went down the way that it did tonight. And I was slightly disappointed. I'm not going to lie. I am usually someone on here, as you guys very well know, when something happens that I do not like, I am not afraid to express my opinions. I was expecting more from MJF and Samoa Joe tonight, and I am left very disappointed that all we got was a little minor angle and some baby steps after kind of waiting a whole week after that nice cliffhanger last week. I was kind of let down by that, but hopefully we still get to where we need to be, and hopefully the reveal goes off as something like, oh my God, this is great, because I sense a lot of people are really kind of getting impatient with this thing. And they just want the reveal of the devil to go off and be pretty big for AEW, which I hope that it is. Jesse, we'll start with you, man. What do you want to talk about tonight? Lead us off in the AEW discussion. What was your biggest takeaway from tonight's show?
So I was gonna go with the main event, but I mean, I just think that was just kind of, it is what it is. I think it told the story that it intended to tell. And my God, we'll get into that story later. Yeah. But let's stick with the MJF stuff, man. You said, you were kind of disappointed that the match didn't happen, but let's try to keep something in mind, man. The man is injured.
He is injured.
The man is injured. So the worst case scenario is that he's off of our TVs entirely. If you're injured like that, that should be what's going on. But we're getting the best case scenario. He's still on our TVs and he's still progressing stories. They are doing their best to let him take it easy. They want him to rest up before the pay-per-view. But Max on our TV in any capacity is a good day. It's a good night, and for what we know about him, this is the best we can do, man. We need to preserve Max. He is, you can tell the man is hell-bent on putting the company on his shoulders and weathering through this lull. So I give him a little bit of credit in it. I mean, would I wanted to see more? Yeah, of course. Who wouldn't have? And I kind of knew one of these 2 matches wasn't going off, and I figured the one not in the main event would get the hose job. So I guess that was this one,
Yeah, you know what I'm going to say and what I'm going to ask. If MJF is legitimately hurt, which his health and well-being is the number one priority here. We don't want to risk any further injury before the pay-per-view. Duh. Why did you book the match? And why did you give us 7 days to look forward to this thing only to do an angle that they could have done without the match being announced a week in advance. That's the kind of feeling I got there, you know?
So it was, I'm assuming it was just kind of done in the sense of, well, if MJF is not wrestling, we know he's not wrestling, and what is he doing here? Well, this is what he was doing there. He was actually progressing the story. I mean, we did get a step. It's not like absolutely nothing happened.
Yeah.
All right. They threw out the Easter egg that is a possibility that MJF is the devil, because it was brought up. And now a fictitious, possible fictitious attack happened. So now it's still on the table that it could be him. If it's not him, he was still attacked, bloody attack, bottle. I mean, this is getting pretty vicious, man. So things happen in it. I mean, was it what we wanted? No, we wanted a reveal and everything else, but it's not like nothing happened. Someone laid MJF the fuck out. So now we got to find out if that was the devil himself, or it was all a ruse. Is MJF in on it? What the hell is going on?
Yeah, we didn't really get any major clues tonight in regards to who the devil is. I mean, it could very well be MJF. I know a lot of people in the week leading up to this were sharing clips of aces and eights from Impact with Bully Ray, and I hope they don't go that route. I think that would kind of deflate the entire thing. I honestly don't think that MJF needs to go back to being a heel at this current point in time. I think what Jesse and I discussed over the past several weeks is where the storyline arc for MJF should be, as he lets his guard down and he grows into someone that lets people in, whereas that was foreign to him, and he gets burned. So that's where I hope they go with this, and it changes him and his entire mentality to being the sympathetic babyface and the Austin Rock of AEW. Being that MJF character that we love, but also being cheered and revered by the fans. That's where I think the story goes best. But obviously, that's just our opinion. It could be MJF, though it would be a little silly to attack yourself in the garage of the Bell Center in Montreal and nobody see it. Lay debris of a glass bottle down and pretend that you were hit. I hope that's not the case. It is kind of silly. Adam Cole has not been on TV for several weeks now. Roddy's out there. He got up out of the wheelchair. I don't know if that could be considered a clue tonight. He is ditching the wheelchair, though he still has the neck brace. And he said he will not be bound, and he will not let this wheelchair determine who he is. So we'll get into that in a little bit. And then we got...
I don't want to break kayfabe here for you, but Roddy is kind of been getting out of that chair for weeks. I mean...
Oh, well, I know. I know.
Kayfabe, bro. Kayfabe.
I know.
All right,
but we're not supposed to know that, though.
Okay, good. All right.
Yeah, I'm very well aware. Roddy, he has now ditched the wheelchair, and we got a very interesting backstage segment tonight with MJF and Adam Page. This is the first time we've seen Adam Page on TV since Full Gear and that Texas Death Match with Swerve Strickland. The interaction between MJF tonight and Adam Page was something completely out of left field. I don't know if it's going to play into the grand scheme of things, but MJF, Jesse, tonight, he was arguing back and forth with Adam Page, and he basically blurted out that he feels that Adam Page may be the devil. Now, you could look at this two ways, because I was thinking about this while this segment ended. One, this could be MJF trying to deflect the blame onto yet another person so that he kind of leaves the trail, not kind of leading to himself, but onto someone else, because maybe he feels people are getting a little too close to this. Or it was Adam Page being blamed because we're supposed to think, well, that's not the right Adam. It's an Adam, but it's not Adam Page. It's Adam Cole. So maybe they're kind of throwing in an Easter egg and they're blaming Adam Page, or he's blaming Adam Page, but it really is Adam Cole. And Adam Page and Adam Cole do kind of have a history there. So I looked at it in those specific ways. What did you think about this segment? Because, you could look at it that way, or you could look at it as potentially MJF has another opponent lined up after he leaves Long Island as the AEW World Champion, which I don't think will be the case.
I don't think anyone is the devil that they alluded to or speculated themselves on TV.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's MJF. I don't think it's Hangman.
Samoa Joe or Roddy.
I think they alluded to Roddy. We know it's not Joe. So yeah, I mean, I think we're still safe for it to be Adam Cole.
Yeah. And I think it should be Adam Cole. Again, we don't really know for sure. We don't know how severe the injury is to Adam Cole. He's been off TV. There were a bunch of clues in the Jay White match at Full Gear. It just makes complete sense for it to be Adam Cole. And I hope we get that at World's End. I really do think that World's End should be the destination where we do get the devil reveal and MJF does lose the championship. That's just the way that I see it. And I think it needs to end because if Adam Cole's really hurt, MJF is really hurt, I don't know how long they can go on and kind of play up this storyline with two of their star characters in this story being on the verge of potentially being off TV. So we will see what happens there. I thought that was very interesting. We'll actually go over what Adam Page and MJF did talk about. It was a back and forth, just kind of trying to one-up each other. So we got that. That's the interesting stuff that happened on the show. And then week 3 of the AEW Continental Classic, I thought this week was yet another solid week of matches. Swerve excelled again in his match against Mark Brisco. Absolutely incredible match for the tournament. If you guys want a reason as to why we are enjoying this tournament and what the AEW Continental Classic is about, it is that match, Swerve and Mark Brisco. Mark Brisco has had such a tremendous performance and hasn't had anything to show for it in this tournament. He's had banger matches, and he has no points. Swerve is at 9 points. He's 3-0. Moxley beat Roosh tonight. He's 3-0, also 9 points. They're meeting next week, one-on-one. Winter is coming in Texas, and I feel like it's going to end in a draw. I don't know how you feel about that, Jesse, with the news that those two men will be wrestling next week. I don't really see either one of those men losing. I can absolutely see Tony Khan giving us our first 20-minute time limit draw next week.
It could be a draw would work here, but you could also do a clear winner.
You
Because,
could.
like I said, it's not like you lose, you're out. So there's so many different ways to go. I think the draw would be like a cop out here, man. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, we got.
Well, I mean, Tony Khan's kind of copped out anyway with it, including, Jay Lethal and Mark Brisco, guys like that in the tournament because they're clearly there to lose.
Well, I mean, we can say that for Brisco now. Yeah. I mean, absolutely. They were trying to sell us on the fact that you could play the upsetter. You can be vying for an entry next year. Although if you go winless in the damn tournament or get one win, I don't see how that qualifies you to get into next year's tourney. So we shall see. But I think again, there's a lot of people in the tournament. Everybody can't get wins in it, and it would be only likely that some would come out without a win. And do you really want a bigger name in there going winless? I mean, it's not like the tournament has a clear cut. We know who's going to win. Why are we doing this situation? We don't know who's going to win shit. There's quite a few possible legitimate winners in this tournament. Let's be honest about it.
Yeah. Brian Kingston could still win it, even though he's lost 2 matches in a row. He's wrestling on Saturday, taped. I won't spoil it because I did read the spoilers because I will not be watching Collision on Saturday, but he is in a match with Claudio. Brian's going to be wrestling 3 times, they said, tonight in the next 7 days or the next 7 days per AEW.
Not much more after that.
Not much more after that. I mean, there was an injury scare with him, which was reported to be a work, so that's not really legit.
Oh, it was a work.
Yeah, it was all work. Yeah, it was all to play up his tournament storyline. But as far as who I think is going to win it, you could look at Swerve, you could look at Brian, Kingston, Moxley. These are the top 4 guys. Honestly, after tonight and what I'm predicting next week with Swerve and Moxley, I'm actually going Jay White to win this tournament.
Really?
Yeah. Or at least go to the finals. I think Jay White will be in the finals. I think Jay White with the tie that I think is coming with Swerve and Moxley next week, I think Jay White is actually going to continue winning matches, and then he's going to surpass both Swerve and Moxley in the standings.
Jay White's a solid pick.
Yeah. Imagine Jay White versus Bryan Danielson, bro.
Yeah, Swerve is the easy pick.
Yeah,
and like the obvious pick, and like we said last week, I think Swerve's ticket is punched, man.
Yeah,
I mean, he's already 3-0 right now, and he's already white fucking hot. I mean, maybe another win here, but I don't think he really needs to win it. To be honest with you, it would serve a lot of purpose for White. him coming out of his MJF feud.
Yep.
Moxley is always a possibility to win anything in AEW at any point, always. Yeah. But Swerve is a solid pick. I would even maybe say Moxley. You know, and it just could be Swerve too at the same time. I think Eddie Kingston should go on a tear and go undefeated to his last, match before you have to change, story progression and then have him lose at the last second. But that would be a great story to tell right there.
Yeah, that's what I actually do envision happening in this tournament. With Swerve, I don't know what you thought about it, but Adam Page in this same promo with MJF did mention Swerve. And he said that they had the Texas Death Match at Full Gear. He broke into his home. He snuck into his son's bedroom. And I don't know the vibe that came off to you guys, but it almost feels like Adam Page may want to continue that coming out of Full Gear. Did you get a sense that we could get a match number 3 at World's End? And maybe Page ruins. You can't have any interference in the tournament.
No, you already promised us that. Nope.
Yeah. So never mind. I don't know. I don't know why he mentioned Swerve. I thought that would have been the end all be all at Full Gear. Did you get any sense that we can continue that to a match number 3 here between those two?
So when he mentioned it, I kind of just took it as a, so what? After the match, Hangman is supposed to forget about the whole damn feud, forget about this man breaking into his house, forget about everything he did.
Yeah.
No, he touched on it. He mentioned it. He hadn't forgotten about it, but now he has other business, other pressing business in his face, and maybe that line about Swerve is just there to help them transition. We can see that, or I kind of see Swerve in a position, to be honest, right now, where he could easily go babyface here. He could easily go babyface at some point very, very, very soon. And Hangman holding that grudge against that loss and against Swerve breaking into his house, even though Swerve may come out later after he officially turns and says, he's done some things that he regrets, to get to where he is, but he made it and blah, blah, blah. Hangman coming out of nowhere and I even forgot, motherfucker, can rekindle that feud. And then that'd be a good spot to do another match in that direction. But I wouldn't do it this soon. I really wouldn't do it this soon. I would do it when you get a nice little change in dynamic, like a full turn for Hangman and a face run for Swerve.
Yeah, I did mention that a couple of days ago on social media on X. I feel like Swerve, he was at the House of Glory show. I mean, he was so fucking over in Queens when we did our show on Saturday or Friday last week. And he posted a video of him at the Jacksonville Jaguars game actually doing the Nana dance, the Swerve dance. And
caught him out of character.
Yeah, you caught him out of character. He's smiling and he's having a great time. And he's happy to be there. He's next to Tony Khan and meeting the players and everything at the field. And I said on social media, I'm like, there is a baby face waiting to break out here when the time is right, obviously. But with how well he's doing and how well he's getting over, some people might already look at him because he's so over with the fans because people are doing the dance and this and that. He may already be a fucking babyface for all we know.
Yeah. I mean, he's getting that. You can rely on him to do good PR for the company. He dresses well. He plays the part. He's got a catchy gimmick. People like what he's doing. I mean, I think this is Swerve's moment. People complain all the time. Why isn't AEW making new stars? There's a legitimate superstar on the rise right now. Meteoric rise in Swerve Strickland. There's others, but no one's at the pace of Swerve right now. People should stop and pay attention to what Swerve is doing, man, because he could be the future of this company.
It's something that I need to say in regards to that. Does AEW make new stars? No, I don't think AEW has anything to do with making new stars. But it's unfair of me to say that they aren't because they've given Swerve and Tony Storm and people like that a platform to succeed where they did not in WWE. I honestly think what we're seeing out of Swerve and out of Tony Storm is the product of Swerve and Tony Storm. That's what I truly believe. I just think AEW gave them the canvas, the blank canvas to go out there and paint. And I think Swerve and Tony Storm, took the paint color and fucking painted their portrait. That's the way that I see that it is.
Yeah, I mean, I consider that as being the same thing. Are you making new stars? Yes. Are you making new wrestlers? No. They knew how to wrestle long before AEW. It's two different things. But they were nowhere near stars.
Yeah.
They were nowhere near stars. And I mean, I'm talking a star in the wrestling industry. I'm not talking mega John Cena, the Rock star. We're not talking something like that. But a legit, solid main eventer in the wrestling world. They're making stars, because that was not Swerve coming into AEW, but that is Swerve right now. As we go along right now at the end of 2023, Swerve is pretty much in position to be a top tier main eventer for all of 2024 at the very least, man. That wasn't him coming in. So it's not like he was made a star somewhere else and they're just capitalizing on it. That would be bringing in an Adam Copeland. Adam Copeland's a fucking star.
Yeah.
That'd be bringing in Punk. Punk was already a star. You know what I'm saying? Guys like MJF. MJF was not a star coming into AEW when it started, and neither was Swerve. So I would give them credit for making stars out of these guys.
Yeah, you could add Julia Hart to that list too. You could probably add Sky Blue to that list eventually. We'll talk about her as well. She wrestled Toni Storm tonight in a open challenge for the AEW Women's Championship. There are people there that you could absolutely put into that category. Yeah. I just think that some, are in the category of doing it for themselves and doing it on their own instead of giving credit to all the credit to AEW. To me, when I look at that and think of that, I'm like, do they have someone like they're building in their developmental system like a Braun Breaker or a Tiffany Stratton or something like that? That's what I consider. That's what I consider building a new star.
I really don't get that. I mean, if you compare it to WWE and their existence and when they started versus when they had their own farm system, how long was WWE in existence before we got an OVW or an NXT? We're 5 years in. I mean, do you have to get your talent from around the world like WWE did? They got theirs from all of the territories. That's what you have to do until you grow and develop and all the shit that comes with it.
Yep.
You've been in here 4 or 5 years and people expect you to have your own farm system, your own stars. How come you don't have main event sold out venues across the planet yet? Because they just started, man. What do you want me to say? I mean, I don't expect the world. I mean, I expect them to get what they've earned. And right now they've earned the venues that they've gotten. They've earned the credibility that they have in the wrestling world because they just got here. So you gotta give it time, man.
People in the chat are going crazy as the New York Yankees just traded for Juan Soto. The Yankees and Padres agree to Juan Soto trade. Great.
Soto is.
I mean, who cares?
Okay.
I mean, is that going to be a deal breaker for the NL or the AL East, I should say?
Is it the first major trade the Yankees have done? Speaking of not building your own stars.
I mean, well, that's just the George Steinbrenner mentality. I mean, they've done that forever. But
did they build Judge? They built Judge, right?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. That's their guy.
Yeah.
I thought maybe they bought him from somebody else's farm system too.
I mean, listen, the Yankees needed a spark, man. They had a devastating and just absolutely disappointing 2023. So if it makes the Yankee fans happy, so be it. I mean, another L for the New York Mets. They just continue to be New York's redheaded stepchild. So whatever, man.
Who was better, Judge or A-Rod in his prime?
I don't know, man. A-Rod, how likely is it that people took him seriously after the steroid allegations, man? It looks like everything that he did before that is kind of in question now, no?
I hate bringing up the steroid allegation only because we know the people who get caught and we know there were a shit ton who did not get caught. So I hate throwing the ones that get caught under the bus like as they're a martyr. You know what I'm saying? Like no one else did it. I mean, we know who didn't do it, but we know Derek Jeter wasn't sitting there pumping roids, okay?
No.
I mean, but A-Rod, yeah, I mean, come on. How many other dudes? I mean, come on. It's
the Braves are not getting Ohtani. I mean, I don't even want them to pay for him. Why would you want? He's not even pitching next year. Why do you want him? You're getting a 50% Ohtani. I'd rather the Braves just put all their resources into a frontline starter that's going to win games for us down the stretch. It's a ridiculous waste of money. But Ohtani's going to be commanding like $650 million. It's going to be the biggest contract in the history of sports.
And he's already out for next year?
No, he'll be hitting. He won't be pitching.
He won't be pitching?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you're getting a hitter, not a pitcher. You're not getting a hitter and a pitcher.
Why is he not pitching next year?
Because he's getting surgery in the offseason. That's going to debilitate his pitching.
Oh, okay.
Which makes me question, well, if he's getting a surgery for pitching, how's he going to fucking hit?
He can't hit for power then. I mean,
I don't know, man. I'm not a medical professional, man. I don't know.
Maybe he's going for OBS next year, man. We'll see.
Maybe. I don't know. Listen, guys, we're going to get into the AW show tonight. We appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. 1,700 in here on a Wednesday night. Thank you guys very much for your support. Please hit that thumbs up if you have not done so. I'm looking for at least 1,000 likes on tonight's post show. Follow us on X at JDfromNY206. That is if you're on there. Some people don't want to be on X. I don't blame you. At JDfromNY206. At Chi-Town Smark. You guys can go follow Jesse on YouTube as well. I linked his YouTube channel right at the very top of the description. Just click on his name. It'll take you right there. Make sure you guys go and check out all the other content on the channel. You know, I heard from a couple people today, man. Some nasty DMs and some nasty comments in the comment section of YouTube. Why are you re-uploading content, man?
Wait. You mean to tell me people complained on social media?
Yeah.
No, they didn't.
No, it's fucking crazy, man. Like a revolutionary thing. People complaining on social media. People were legitimately complaining that I'm re-uploading clips of important parts of the show just in case people missed those big talking points and conversations.
Guys, you know what I do in this situation? And not even kidding. First off, JD's not the first and the only one to do that on YouTube. But second of all, if I have someone that I subscribe to on YouTube and they upload something that I've seen before, I just don't watch it.
Yeah.
I just don't watch it. It's not like you don't enjoy the content that the guy's putting out, but you have seen this part already. So thank you for watching it the first time. This is for people who did not have a chance to sit and watch a 3-hour stream, but someone has compressed a good 20, 25 minutes of it to be easily consumed on your way to work or school or something.
There you go, man. That's why I have him on the show, man. He talks logical.
Man.
It's crazy, man.
People just don't watch it. Why are you complaining?
I don't know.
That he uploaded it. I mean, if he would have uploaded nothing, you'd be happier. But by uploading something, it helps his metrics, it helps his community and everything else. But you don't want that.
Nah, we won't do that, man. Yeah, fuck JD.
God, dude.
By the way, I will let you guys know what's going on for World's End. Myself and Andrew Baydala, should have told Jesse this, being that he's my co-host. We will be attending World's End. So there will be no stream that Saturday night. Instead, on Sunday, if Jesse's around.
We will?
Well, I mean,
you fly me out and everything?
Well,
that's sweet. Let me tell my wife, babe, I'm flying out to New York for World's End.
No, you're not going to World's End, Geek.
No, JD's paying for that shit. Hey, don't worry about it. Best hotel? Hold on one sec. What's the best hotel in New York? Hold on. I think it's the Ward. All right, the W. You're gonna stay at the W, bro.
Bro, how much money you think I'm worth, man? I don't have this kind of type of money.
That's the second time you asked me that tonight, man. Please don't make me ask you.
Listen, man, we're going to World's End. Drew and I are going to World's End. We got tickets. Jesse and I will be doing. Hopefully, he'll be around on Sunday, not Saturday, because normally this man next to me here is tired. I'm fucking exhausted. We're up till 3:30 in the morning, my time, 2:30 his time when we finish. You know, a nice night of sleep, and then we attack it on Sunday, man. I think that sounds like a nice deal. You know?
Maybe. Or I could just do it.
Or you could just come out. You could come out here, and I got a spare bedroom here.
Yeah. He's gonna buy the plane ticket. We just gotta stay at a spare bedroom.
Nah, come on, man.
I'm gonna sleep in the fucking dark horse.
What do you want?
I'm gonna sleep in the dark horse.
You want? There's no room for you. What do you want? You want first class too?
I mean, I wouldn't want to put you out, but business class is just perfectly fine too.
Business class, yeah. As long as you got a lie down seat, huh?
Yeah, man. Whew.
Yeah, that lie down
that's
seat.
awesome.
That lie down seat going to Wembley, man. This past summer was ideal, man. I'll tell you that.
Man, I definitely flew back higher than coach on the way back and going there. I'm not doing that shit again.
Yeah.
That's just too long of a flight.
Go check out all the other content on the channel, guys. There's plenty of it. Drew and I did an excellent episode 25 last night of TNT, man. Lots of great discussion. He called me a lunatic for not wanting Austin and Punk at WrestleMania and choosing Rollins and Punk instead. You know, that's the type of discussion we have on Tuesday nights. Go and check it out, man. Well worth your time.
The two names sound like a great experience, but in 2023, I don't know.
You're risking a lot there, man.
I mean,
you're risking a lot.
One guy's already got 2 major injuries in the last year or so, and the other one's been retired.
Well, I tried to tell him this yesterday.
I mean, in theory, maybe about a decade ago, that would have been awesome. 15 years ago, but you just can't take 2 great names and say, don't you want to see that? I'm like, yeah, about 20 years ago, man, but not in 2023. No.
And make sure you guys get those super chats in, man. I would really appreciate it. We'll do last call at the end of the show. You can hang out, ask us anything you want. Jesse and I will answer all your questions at the end of the show. Let's start with the open of Dynamite, and that was Jon Moxley and Roosh in the AEW Continental Classic Gold League. Roosh has had an excellent tournament, quality of matches, at least, on his end, even though he's not really poised to win this thing. I thought this was a very good match. Hard hitting, as you would expect. Listen, let her cry. I know Jon Moxley's a favorite to win the tournament. I know. I'm going with Swerve, though, okay?
Why does that cat hate you streaming, dude?
I don't know. She wakes up. She sleeps behind me. She's got her own fucking beanbag behind me. And she wakes up. She goes to take a drink of water. And then she comes up the stairs to the office and she cries.
Pissed off.
I don't know. I don't know what to do.
Oh, well, man.
I thought this was a great match, man. Not the best match of the night in the tournament on this Wednesday night. But I thought it was a hard-hitting match. And like I said, Roosh is showing a lot of people what he's capable of. He's on weekly television. You get a sense of what he can bring to the table. This is one of those situations. We know how good Moxley is. We know how great Moxley is. We know that Moxley's an ace, and he is at the top of the list of guys that Tony Khan loves and has built this company around. But Roosh, you look at a tournament like this and what Roosh has done in this tournament. Do you honestly feel, with what Roosh has done quality-wise in this tournament, that Tony Khan is going to look at him differently, which I hope, and he'll be on television in a little bit more of a priority role moving forward?
I think that what Roosh brings to the table is fantastic, and that is his in-ring work. So I think this tournament serves him fantastically. I think once the tournament is over, I think he's going to lose that luster because there's not much engagement for Roosh outside of his in-ring work. That's why this tournament works for him, because it's all work rate.
Yeah.
But when this is over, he goes right back to, what you've coined the rent-a-luchas. And what do we do with them then? I mean, he can't just wrestle.
Well, I don't really slot him. I don't think he's working at the Rent-a-Lucha. I don't think he's working there. Do you think he's a Rent-a-Lucha?
Yeah, well, he's fantastic in the ring, and there's no story behind him.
And he's not really a good promo. I'll tell you what, man. Where are those trios titles? Let's get them on. Let's get them on LFI. Okay.
Word. Oh, the Acclaim, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Who?
Okay. Right.
Are they even still employed? We don't even know.
Don't forget the tag titles too.
Where? I don't. Oh yeah, they're on Big Bill and Ricky Starks. I almost forgot that too.
There you go.
Man,
dude.
Drew asked last night. Well, where's Ricky Starks in this tournament? I don't know. Maybe because Ricky Starks is not re-signing with AEW.
Yeah, they're just waiting for Ricky to go. Seriously, I mean, at
He's
this
going
point, I don't even
He's
ask.
like, hey, yo, Cody Roadster, man, what's going on, man? You got any room for me over there? You got any room for me in the Nightmare Bus?
I don't even ask why we don't get more Ricky Starks on TV. We already know.
What did MJF call him?
The Pebble?
No, Cody. Well, he said something. It was a nickname, the roller coaster or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know. And yeah, he's going over there. He's going over there.
He probably is.
Moxley, he got a near fall off of a nice looking superplex here, and we go into a commercial break. Moxley blocked an over to belly on the floor against the barricade, and he actually had that reversed.
Stiff.
Yeah, very, very stiff by Roosh. Roosh was in control. Moxley answered with a DDT to regain control here. He was struck by a Roosh pile driver, the American roller coaster. That's what he called him. Yeah, thank you, Phil. Pile driver by Roosh for a 2. Roosh returned the favor from earlier, hitting a superplex off the top rope. Moxley escaped the DDT, sent Roosh to the floor, and connected with a tope. Both men beat the 10 count out of 9, which led to another intense striking exchange, with Moxley ultimately taking Roosh's head off. And he blocked Bull's horns, hit the Death Rider. Roosh kicked out. Moxley then slapped on a rear naked choke, and Roosh passed out. Roosh woke up immediately after the bell had rung and was furious. And he started yelling at the referee that he didn't tap out, and the referee had to tell him that he lost consciousness. But Moxley gets the win, and he gets 3 points in the tournament. He's now atop the leaderboard, just like... Get this man a beverage, man. Jason Barker with a $100 super chat. Look at this guy, man. Here's $100 to pitch in for Jesse's trip over to New York at the Trump Tower.
Make sure you get my bag packed.
You staying at Trump Tower now, huh?
I'll stay at Trump Tower. I'm going to piss all over that room, bro.
I'm sure you are. They'll kick you right out.
That's fine. I wouldn't be the first one to get kicked out of Trump Tower.
No, I know.
Thank you
Moxley.
so much, Jason. I'll make sure he puts that to good use.
Thank you, Jason. Appreciate your generosity always, brother. Thank you for being here. Moxley wins. Solid opening match. I thought we've seen... listen, it was a very good match. I thought we've seen better from both guys in this tournament. But Moxley gets the win. He's 9 points. Roosh only has 3 points. He's 1 win and 2 losses in this tournament. And one more loss for Roosh, and he's done. So we already have a couple of quote-unquote eliminations in this tournament, even though it's not an elimination tournament. People could still be the upset in this tournament and play spoiler. But Roosh loses here, and Moxley gets the 3 points. He now goes to 9 points atop the leaderboard. We got a nice little video package from Jay White and Jay Lethal. They were wrestling tonight, and it documented their history in Ring of Honor when Jay Lethal was the man over there, and Jay White was nothing more than a rookie at the time. So I really like that. They're doing as much as they can to make this tournament feel legitimate. So I really do like that. And video packages like this really get the ball rolling on that. So that was nice. Renee Paquette, Montreal's own. Renee Paquette. This is his thing now, man. He's just yelling everybody's first name. You know?
Yeah, that's going to get old kind of quick, though.
I know. But Renee was on the ramp, and she introduced Roderick Strong and the Kingdom. Strong said tonight, Samoa Joe is going to put his hand on a hot stove, and it's going to burn. He says he's in a wheelchair because of decisions he's made, and this is my life every single day. So decisions have consequences. He then stood out of the chair and added that he will no longer suffer the consequences for his decisions and be held back. He tossed the chair off the ramp. He said the wheelchair has held him back for far too long. Is Roddy the devil?
No.
Roddy is not the devil.
It's too obvious.
Yeah, it's too obvious.
It's too obvious. I mean, so is Cole, but Roddy is the one that they're putting in front of you. Like, you know, it's probably him, right?
Yeah.
Right? No, it's Adam Cole. Not Roddy.
There is news, if I could find it. I think it was from Fightful. Let me see. what we have on Fightful. This is in regards to Kyle O'Reilly. Listen to this one. Kyle O'Reilly has been out of action for 18 months with no sign of a return on screen within AEW. Unfortunately, updates in the summer that Fightful have heard were not good. Sources had indicated to Fightful that O'Reilly was not factored into AEW plans due to his injury, and there is currently no timetable for him to return. At least one part of that has changed, as Fightful is now being told that Riley has been backstage recently and is looking like he could return to program after a period of it looking quite unlikely. Now, that is very interesting, Jesse. For someone who had neck fusion surgery in September of 2022, has gone through rigorous training and rehabilitation, the fact that he is backstage while all of this devil storyline is unfolding kind of makes me raise my eyebrows and makes my ears perk, bro. Is he a part of the Foot Clan? In your opinion?
I don't see why he wouldn't be. It'd be the one thing to easily slot him into right about now.
Yeah. And I like how the report says, well, because he's injured, he wasn't really factored into AEW plans. Well, that may be the case, but how many times have plans changed with the injuries that have happened in this storyline and they had to take a different course of action? And maybe this new plan or these new plans now include Kyle O'Reilly. We don't know.
Yeah, plus he doesn't need to be fully healed to come back to be a part of this storyline, depending on how close he is to actually being ready to go. If he's like a month away, you could easily have him come back, start this storyline, and then wait it out a month before he gets back in the ring to play it out.
Yep.
But it depends what they have for him. If they just come back, and give him the treatment that they gave Red Velvet, just come back and get into a match and leave, then yeah, I mean, they could do that, or this could be 100 times more interesting. So it's interesting. I also thought it's interesting that they were fishing around with the story going around that they were trying to find some kind of creative for Jack Perry.
Yeah, that's also in the news too. There's a couple pieces on Jack Perry. They're trying to find creator for Jack Perry. Which if you read the report and the way it's worded, if they're trying to find creative for Jack Perry, then it probably eliminates him from being the devil. But we don't really know. And I think a lot of people in that company know if that the devil ends up being Jack Perry, that it's fucking dead in the water. It can't be Jack Perry. And then Jack Perry also trademarked Jungle Boy on his own accord. So we don't know what's happening there. He trademarked it for obvious reasons, to himself. We don't really know what they are. He may find use in that. Maybe he leaves AEW and wants to use that as a nickname or for merchandising reasons. We don't really know.
Right.
But, he has gone and done that as well. Who knows what his standing is in AEW? Who knows what he thinks of, AEW now and, what the company thinks of him after the whole CM Punk situation. For all we know, he may be heralded as a fucking hero in that locker room. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah, we don't know. I mean, but I don't know. In an effort to make lemons out of lemonade, he's gonna come back with massive heat, massive. So, all I can suggest is capitalize on that shit, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he cannot come back as a babyface.
Oh God, no. That was never gonna happen. No, he can't. But capitalize on it because we're talking major heat here.
Yeah, Renee. She was, right after this Roddy segment, backstage outside MJF's locker room when Adam Page walked up to her. I don't know where he was going. He might have just been entering the building. She asked where he's been and how he's been. He says he couldn't fly for a few weeks because he was hit with a cinder block and knocked unconscious. He said Swerve broke into his home and went into his son's room. He said it took Prince Nana and Brian Cage, but he beat him in a Texas death match. Don't know if that's a little tease for a potential third match, and he's got some gripe with that. Who knows? He says he can concede he lost, but he took something from him that night that Swerve cannot get back. He says they are now bound by something bigger than either of them, and it's not over. So Adam Page is saying it's not over. Yes, they're bound by something, and they had that blood spot. So, yes, they are bound by something for sure. Bound by blood. He says they are now bound by something bigger. It's not over. He says he knows what he wants more than anything in life, and he will make sure he never has it because of what he's done to him. You know, it really is, and I know, Jesse, we know the rules of this tournament. Nobody can interfere. Otherwise, what's the ruling? If they interfere, you're fired or something along those lines?
Well, the thing about it, more importantly, is that it was a word from Tony Khan. It didn't really come off as like a kayfabe, you know, this is going to happen if. This is more like this is how this tournament's going to go. There won't be any interference. He never, really said anything about it. He just let the viewers know there won't be any interference. So that's genuinely what I expect here.
Yeah. Obviously, those rules can be bent and broken. Yeah. We don't have to see Paige interfere in the Moxley match to give Moxley a win. But I could absolutely see somewhere where Paige attacks Swerve after the match and ruins his potential chance of winning the next match. So
I got a better idea than that.
Go ahead. What do you got better than that?
Gonna attack Swerve backstage before the match, before he comes out,
or that, and then we get a match at World's End between these two, because, you know, obviously my first instinct, and I think our first instinct, were like, yeah, it should be the end with what the fuck they did to each other. But It took Nana and Brian Cage to help Swerve. I figured we get a rematch just based out of that. And now Page is on Dynamite tonight. We got 3 weeks to go before the pay-per-view. And he mentioned Nana and Cage. He mentioned that he broke into his home, into his son's room, and they're bound by something greater, and it's not over between them. So it's like, all right, are we going to work to get this match at World's End? Is Swerve not really winning the tournament? You know, you got to look at it in this way as well, because if Swerve wins the tournament, everybody's claiming, oh, he's a world champion. You know, Jesse's claiming world championship in 2024. I've said it. I said it on commentary at Hog when he wrestled Speedball on Friday. He's going to be a world champion in 2024. People are asking for it. People are clamoring for it. Is there a potential, if he wins the Continental Classic, that people are going to say, well, it's not good enough? It's a second place prize. It's a consolation prize. He's better than that. Are people going to look at that as some sort of less than situation for Swerve, Jesse, if he wins the Continental Classic, because it's not the World Championship?
I can't chase that woman. That's literally fans being fickle.
Yeah.
It's getting Swerve to the top of the card, and it's not even to say he'll never be AEW champion. This could be his first stop, but that's just so messed up. If you don't push him, you wasted Swerve. If you push him to win this tournament, then it's a consolation prize. If you beat Max, it was like, well, Max shouldn't have lost this soon. You can't make everyone happy. So if you plan to have the winner of this tournament get pushed to the moon, and simple as that, then Swerve just needs to win, you know. Or again, like I was saying, I don't think he needs it. I think if you continue booking him the way that you've been booking him, I think Swerve is bulletproof. His ticket is punched, and whenever you can work him into a main event match for a title, he should be in position to win it. And you can use this tournament to elevate someone else, killing two birds with one stone. But you can't go wrong picking Swerve win the tournament. That's not a bad choice.
Yeah, I don't think Swerve will look at it himself as a problem either, because I think he's the type of guy, I don't know him obviously, but he looks like the type of guy that wants Tony Khan to give him a ball. Just give me the fucking ball. Whatever the ball is, just give it to me and I will make it work. I think he would actually look at that as a challenge. New championship, brand new title, setting the fucking foundation for it right out of the gate. I think he would actually relish in that type of moment. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
He would. And, you know, and it benefits AEW and TK to get Swerve up there, instantly if possible, because it does look like MJF just needs some time off.
Yeah.
The man needs to heal. The man needs to recuperate. He's got lingering injuries. Every time he gets in a match, he kind of comes up with another lingering injury. And Swerve is primed to jump into that main event spot to hold it down while MJF recovers. So it'd be interesting to see how they book Swerve coming out of this tournament, man.
Yeah, but the idea of potentially getting a third match here at World's End is up in the air. So it could happen. We don't know how exactly we would get there because Swerve is in the tournament right now, and they don't really want to give away that Swerve might not be winning the tournament to do another match with Paige. So they got to carefully construct this thing to keep it as unpredictable as possible. But Adam Page clearly wants another match with Swerve because he's down 0-2. And I don't really think he'd win the third match either. There's no reason for him to win a third match if they do go to a third match.
Yeah, that's another reason why I don't want to see Swerve and Hangman right now. Because at some point, you just can't keep beating Hangman like this.
Well, not only that, how the fuck do you top what they did? I mean, they can't have a regular wrestling match.
No. What are we gonna do?
What are they gonna do? Wrist locks and fucking headlocks, Spanish arm drag off the top. Come on, bro, give me a fucking break.
No, they're gonna, since there was so much interference, now they're gonna book a cage match, so now no one can actually interfere.
Which we all know the rules of a steel cage match. They usually are constructed to keep the outside parties from going in.
Yeah, exactly.
And it never works.
I think if you don't revisit this match anytime soon, you got a better chance of letting the second one sink in, let it stay for a while. It's got its 5 stars, let it breathe. You definitely don't want to do a third one in the same year you just did the second one, which is match of the year contender. And by the time you revisit it sometime next year, the dynamics should have changed a lot by then. Because I could definitely see a babyface Swerve and a full heel Hangman at that point.
Yeah. MJF came out of the locker room and congratulated Hangman for his match against Swerve. He says it was so impressive seeing two guys battle it out to see who could get more STDs.
Oh, my God.
Hangman, you could tell that Max was in full-on prick mode here. Hangman says he doesn't have time to deal with him talking like he normally does, so you can have your interview time. And he tried to walk off. MJF said the reason he has to talk for 30 minutes is to wake the crowd up after Hangman put everybody to sleep. So Hangman walked away, and then he eventually returned after that comment and confronted him face-to-face. MJF asked if the last time they wrestle, he verbally bent over in front of Bret Hart. Hangman said it ended when he gave him a buckshot lariat and threw him over the top rope. And MJF was like, yeah, it's a good memory, man. Yeah, it's kind of cute. It's kind of cute. So they would go back and forth for a little bit. MJF touted his AEW world title reign being longer than Hangman's, and more important, obviously. Hangman said, well, that's great. You can be proud of that over 1 year reign when you're 70 years old at home alone telling your 9 cats about your 1 year title reign. MJF says, if they want to be honest, out of everyone in the locker room, I think you are the devil. Hangman laughed at the notion he's running around in a Party City mask. Hangman said MJF is a manipulator and it's probably him that's the devil. Just be honest with me, he said. Samoa Joe then walked in and stepped in between them and started yelling at MJF and said to Adam Page, MJF is his. MJF is his property. He's looking after him. Told Hangman to take it easy. Joe turned and told MJF, we have other issues to take care of that doesn't involve him. And he pointed to Hangman and they walked away. So, number one, MJF was very reminiscent of old MJF here against Adam Page. Number one, obviously he played the full-on prick heel in this moment against Adam Page. I like that Page referenced the Texas Death Match and the match against Swerve and where he's been and why he's been out. That's always a very important detail. Where you been? He explained why he was out and what happened in the match is the cause of that. Good. Then Samoa Joe walks in. I like the fact that Samoa Joe in storyline here is trying his best because he knows everybody's coming after MJF, and here we got Adam Page now wanting to fight MJF for whatever reason, looking to protect his investment because he wants to beat MJF at the pay-per-view, and he wants Max to be 100% or as close to 100% as he possibly could be. I do like this promo. I don't know where they go with this. Is it leading to a match potentially with MJF and Page? Is this going to yield another match between Page and Swerve? Nobody knows, but this was done for a reason. Or like I said, is this, MJF pointing the finger of blame at somebody else now that you can add to the list to deflect that he may be the devil? Or is it an Easter egg that he's pointing to Adam Page but it's not the real Adam. It's not the right Adam. It's an Adam that's under the mask, but it's Adam Cole that's under the mask. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah. So we were just talking about Swerve possibly becoming a big babyface. Joe is actually a contender right about now.
Yeah.
To become a big babyface. What I'm doing mentally right now is preparing myself for AEW without MJF for, a few months. So that being the case, someone's going to have to be the top babyface. I don't think it's going to be Adam Cole. I sincerely believe he is the devil. Joe is in a position here to take over MJF's spot and feud with Adam Cole over the championship while in Max's absence. Swerve's in a position to be there, but he also could be at the end of the tournament, something like that. I think we're looking at a big babyface turn at the end of this year, going into next year with a banged up MJF. Now I'm really interested to see if it's going to be Joe or Swerve.
Yeah. I mean, Joe has the makings of a babyface, always has. Just keep. You don't really need to do anything different. Just have him go out there and be what he is now. It's going to be very interesting to see how this match plays out. I know it's a huge selling point, and I hope that they know what they're doing. I hope that they know what the reveal needs to be. It needs to come off and be the biggest thing they've done. It's going to be a ripple effect. It's going to have a huge impact on how they start 2024, and you can't have this show and this reveal go off and stink and then lead into 2024 with someone less adequate as the devil. Can't do it. I'm just afraid that it's going to end up being a letdown. I don't want it to be.
Yeah, I also think it's going to be hard to come out of this reveal and continue up this faction. This faction needs to be solid, or else it's just going to be the devil and a bunch of goons running around.
Yeah.
So this needs to be a solid group surrounding the devil reveal. It has to be Adam Cole, man. And you get O'Reilly back, probably bring in Fish, and have a whole stable around Cole. Cole can run a whole stable. We've seen that already. So that would be a fit right there alone. It's interesting, man.
Swerve. Speaking of Swerve, he wrestled Mark Briscoe tonight. Second match tonight in the Gold League for the Continental Classic. This was a great match. Briscoe's having probably some of the best matches of the entire tournament, believe it or not, Mark Briscoe. Briscoe is now mathematically eliminated. He's lost 3 matches. He can no longer win the tournament, and he is now going to play the role of spoiler because he still has to wrestle a couple more times, and he could be that spoiler for someone to, not win the tournament and move them down in the rankings, and that's going to be his role from this point on. With Swerve, we just talked about it, with Adam Page promising it's not over yet. It really now has put it in the back of my mind that no matter how great Swerve has been, he's 9 points, he's 3-0, he's wrestling Moxley next week at Winter is Coming, that he may not be winning this tournament now with what Hangman said. So we have to keep a close eye on that and see how that progresses. But this was a very, very good match between these two. Swerve is absolutely rocking and rolling here. Both guys, early on, they were on the floor. Briscoe reversed an Irish whip, hit a diving drop kick through the ropes to the floor. Both are on the outside, on the apron. They were trading strikes back and forth. Strickland sent Briscoe into the front row. So Swerve was standing on the barricade. Strickland hit a superplex off the barricade onto the floor, and we go to commercial break. So Strickland's in control. Briscoe used an armbar, or he escaped an armbar from Swerve with his redneck kung fu. Briscoe started to run wild with a big boot in the corner. Fisherman Buster goes for the cover, gets a 2 count. Strickland fought back with a step over gut wrench German, which looked great. Rolling flatliner, and then the house call, I believe he hit for a close near fall as well. Briscoe cut off Strickland in the ropes, sent him to the floor, dove out to the floor. Briscoe hit a huge lariat, goes for a cover. Strickland kicks out. Swerve then rolled through a J driller and hit the house call. Briscoe got knees up on a 450 splash attempt and he nearly rolled Swerve up for a 2 count. Rolling DVD from Brisco. He goes up top for the big froggy bow elbow drop. Swerve got the knees up. The announcement was made that there's only 5 minutes left, so both guys are on the apron, and they're fighting for position on the apron. Swerve fought off a J-Driller, and he hit a DVD, Death Valley Driver, on the ring apron, and then back in the ring, connected with the Swerve Stomp. 1, 2, 3, and Brisco is pinned and mathematically eliminated from the Continental Classic. Great shit. Really, really great shit. I said on Twitter, if you guys need to know what the Continental Classic is about, this is the type of match that's going to sell it for you. Crowd was into it. They loved everything. They bought into every near fall towards the end. It's just a perfect tournament match, man. I thought this was awesome.
It was fantastic, man. It was. I mean, shout out to Mark, man. He's been putting out fantastic stuff in this tournament alone.
Yeah.
I mean, Swerve has been Swerve. He's been getting great chemistry with everyone he's gotten in the ring with as of late. But I'm interested to see where they go with Mark Briscoe. I want to see him do something interesting, man. And I know they've dabbled into quite a few different things. I'm not quite sure which way you go with him. I would love to see him with a tag team partner, because he seems to flourish, better in the tag division. But I kind of just don't want it thrown together. And it seems like him without his brother is going to come off as something thrown together. I think if two people being grossly underused, along with Mark Briscoe, I would say is Jay Lethal, who were the best of friends with the Briscoes and everything else. I mean, that would be a pretty insane combo if you ask me, but I just don't want to see it thrown together. But nonetheless, I would love to see something interesting done with Mark Briscoe after this tournament. I mean, because even with the 3 losses, he's been putting on bangers, man, and you gotta appreciate it.
Yeah, I could get behind a Jay Lethal and Mark Briscoe tag team. I mean, you just got to sell it right and tell the story right. I don't know how, Mark probably doesn't want to team with anybody since, Jay had passed, God rest his soul. But, if he's wrestling this good, man, I'd love to see him mixed up in that international championship. Who knows when the Continental Champion's crowned, he goes after the Continental Championship. There is definitely a spot for him after the tournament is over, for sure.
And shout out to No Orange Cassidy for like 2 weeks now.
I know.
That's great, man.
I'm surprised he's not in the fucking tournament.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, I'm surprised you didn't put him in. I mean, this is great. The less orange, the better, man. Not because there's anything wrong with orange, it's because you've been overexposing them. You've been shoving them down our throats. Let us get a chance to digest the orange you've been giving us and then bring them back fresh, freshly squeezed. And it's great. Great. We're not missing orange right now. Orange is in a good spot.
Renee was interviewing Mariah May backstage and asked about her meeting with Tony Khan. She said they both love Japanese wrestling, no shit, and hit it off and set up her debut match. Renee asked when she's going to debut and who it's going to be against. Mariah May said that's none of her business. And Mariah May said she's going to be studying Tony Storm's match tonight against Sky Blue. I mean, we're going to need this debut eventually, right?
Dude, how many matches and title matches too has Sky Blue just been thrown into and lost? It's
disgusting, ain't it? It doesn't make any sense.
Thrown into. She's not earning these championship matches. They just thrown into and lost. I'm really getting tired of it. This whole angle with Julia Hart clearly has gone nowhere. She's still wearing the makeup.
Yep.
She keeps getting title matches. She keeps losing. I don't know where they're going with Sky Blue. As you said earlier, like, oh man, she looks better. I mean, dude, I don't know what the hell they're doing with her. And I'm just tired of watching her come out to lose. And the gimmick is not progressing at all. They need to do something else with Sky Blue.
Yeah. Yeah, they just seemingly dropped that Julia Hart storyline. Way to go.
Yeah, just
goodbye.
Whatever. And so it brings me back to my original thing. Well, why did she go through all of this just to pull a ruse on Julia Hart with no payoff?
I don't know. Yeah, but the company says they love women's wrestling.
Clearly.
Can't tell a proper storyline and see it play out all the way through.
Clearly.
Love it. Hey, listen, Sky Blue's making it work, man. Whatever she's done to transform herself and changed a little part of her character aesthetically. It's working, man. She looks great. Whatever.
Yeah.
Samoa Joe and MJF. This was supposed to be a tag team match against the Foot Clan, or the Putties that Kenny Omega said. You know, the Putties from Power Rangers? The guys in the mask. You know, they used to fucking flop around and they look like fucking geeks. That's the sound that they made.
They did too.
Listen, man, I was a big Power Rangers guy, man, back in the day. Samoa Joe comes out, no MJF, and the lights went dark. The Devil's masked men surrounded Joe on all four sides of the ring. And Shivani said, MJF, better get out here fast. But the lights went dark again. What's going on here? And the lights came back. Joe was standing alone in the ring. So the Devil's masked men show up. They disappear. Lights come back on. We see the Devil himself on the screen. He says nothing. And then we get a shot of MJF laying out in the parking lot with a broken beer bottle laying around him and the AEW World title belt laying by his side. That was it. Samoa Joe ran to the back to go see what was going on. That was the only thing we heard tonight in regards to this. They didn't mention it again.
Let's see where it goes next, man. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of speculation. There's a lot of sleuths out there. I got people looking at the side of Cole's hand when the lights go out and everything else. People are interested, and they did give us a little something to progress. It was a little something. I still give them a little bit of credit here because I know what they're working with. And they're working with a lot of fucking injuries. And through all of that, you still get Max showing up to, sell spots and move storylines. So I think all things considered, this is great. But we got to cash this in at World's End. So I'm hoping that he'll be ready to go to deliver, with Joe, by World's End. And also by that time, I'm kind of expecting somewhat of a reveal as well.
There is a real possibility. I don't want to throw it out there because I really don't want it to be an option. But there is a big possibility that MJF could be revealed as the Devil.
Well, yeah,
and this was all pre-planned, and obviously could play into the bidding war of 2024, and him taking over the company and holding the company hostage, and somebody has to defend AEW. I don't know where it's going to go, but there is a true possibility that MJF could end up being revealed as the Devil himself. I don't know how well that's going to come off. I don't really want to see MJF revert back to being the heel, even though he's fucking great at it. I think where we're going and what we've discussed on this show is probably the best trajectory for MJF, but that is just our opinion. We don't really know. Max may think otherwise, Tony Khan and Creative may think otherwise, but there is a big possibility that he could be. I just think that if it does end up being Max, that I think the fans are going to kind of frown upon it. And I don't really think it's going to come off as a reveal that fans see as a big, true payoff that they waited all this time for,
I think the disappointment, I wouldn't call it disappointment. I would call it disappointment in the sense of McMahon being the higher power.
Yeah.
It would be like a JR, like, oh, son of a bitch. It's kind of like that. I think disappointment would be Tony Khan being the Devil. That would be disappointment.
Yeah.
But Max being a Devil would just it makes sense. Like, okay, son of a bitch, he fucking got us. I don't think it's the end of the world. There are some end of the world scenarios. Jack Perry being the Devil is probably an end of the world situation. Like that. Yeah. Come on, man, that's not believable at all.
No.
But Max doing it was like, should have known. So,
with the interaction tonight with Adam Page and him being a beer drinking fellow, and the beer bottle being smashed over MJF's head and the debris of the beer bottle laying around, I guess they wanted you to think that Adam Page bashed him over the head when he wasn't looking, because, he loves beer, and they wanted you to think that tonight. Who knows? Who knows what they are thinking when they plan this shit out. And no, Steve Austin is not the Devil, even though he's a beer-drinking fellow as well. I see some people in the chat. It was Austin. It was Austin, pal. No.
It was Austin. It was McMahon. Oh, my God. You want to talk about McMahon shaking up the wrestling world. He gets mad at Endeavor. and shows up on AEW fucking television as the devil.
Yeah. It was me, you pores. It was me all along, MJF.
Oh my God, dude.
Imagine.
The fuck is going on?
Christ,
Let it be Ric Flair.
John Moxley.
What is this shit floating around with this clip of Ric Flair getting in some fight with some dude?
Who knows, man? You know,
Tony
Khan was interviewed by the New York Post and said, oh yeah, we're not paying Flair. Flair's paying us.
No. The fight that he got into with the fucking whoever this guy was. You didn't see that?
I did see it. I did
At
see
the
it.
bar?
Yeah, it's making Tony Khan's decision to sign this man look terrible week by week, honestly.
But they're essentially like I said before, they gave him the Randy Savage deal, where Slim Jim was paying his deal for WCW, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter. He says it like in a way like we're supposed to care how Ric Flair is getting paid. There's no skin off our nose if AEW is cutting his checks, or if Woo Energy is cutting his checks, or if TBS and Warner is cutting his checks. We don't care who's cutting his checks. It's just a matter of why is he here?
Well, that's why Tony Khan said that in the New York Post, in this interview with the New York Post, because I think it was a way to kind of say, well, you know, yeah, we hired him, but we're not paying him, so it doesn't look as bad as what people think it is. You know, we're not paying him. He's paying us. You know, it's like, but still, he's there.
It's there.
He's on TV. He shouldn't be on TV.
Yeah, guys. I know the fight with Flair was a work. I can clearly see a work. You know?
It was a work with Chandler. Okay, whatever.
Who is Chandler?
I don't fucking know. Who cares?
Is he a UFC guy or something?
He might be.
But that can't be because UFC.
He's a UFC fighter. It was a skit.
UFC, but UFC owns WWE.
Oh, well.
Okay.
John Moxley was hanging out backstage, and he turns around and stretched his arms and said he's humble before God and his mother. He says he knows who he is, and he expected to be 3-0, and he expects to win the AEW Continental Classic because I am the ace of the world. Swerve walked up and said he'll do whatever it takes to win no matter who is in his way. Moxley said, good. Swerve said, see you in Texas. Prince Nana was laughing in the background. Swerve then blew Moxley a kiss and left. We're getting this match of two undefeated talents in the Continental Classic through the first 3 weeks, man. That's a primary reason to watch Dynamite next week. And I do think, my prediction is that this will be the first time limit draw of the entire tournament.
Yeah, but this is where, so we talked about this before at the beginning of this tournament, and I think even a little bit last week. Next week, we're going to start getting into the matches where now the tournament is starting to tell its own story, because now we have two undefeated guys going at it.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't want this to end in a draw, because the first opportunity you had where you were, I don't want to say booked into a corner, because tournaments do this. At the end of the tournament, the best are going to start facing the best. So when you put it in an impasse, you copped out to a draw. No, someone has to fucking win. But don't worry. You know, you're not knocking the other one out. You just, someone has to take an L. Even the winner of this tournament can still lose. I mean, have a lost match here or there, so it's okay. So, you know, I want to see a winner.
All the geeks before the tournament. Oh, well, there's no story. The tournament is the story. We told you this. How many times now? Yeah,
imagine there being no tournament, you know, at all, no tournament existing. We just had these as regular matches, and that's kind of how it's been a lot of the times. And they just announced Swerve versus Moxley next week. We'd be like, okay, that's a great match, but I mean, why? What's on the line? Tournament, undefeated, both of them on a roll. Now the tournament is becoming an importance. At its inception, people questioned, like, well, who cares? Who this? Who that? I said before, it's their job to make us care, and they're doing it through work rate, which I think is amazing, because it's easier to tell a story through like storytelling and skits and things like that. But when you're telling your story via all wrestling, that's all the wrestlers doing that. That's all the talent. That's amazing stuff.
I am making a prediction here on top of the prediction I just made about the time limit draw. The match will go to a time limit draw, and people will complain next week on Twitter.
Let me tell you something. It goes to a draw, people will complain. If Swerve wins, people will complain. If Mox wins, people will complain.
As long as Nana dances, nobody complains.
As long as Nana dances, I think if Nana dances, you'll have at least everyone happy with that. Other than that, if Nana doesn't dance, people will complain about that too.
We had Ben Mankiewicz, host of Turner Classic Movies, here for the next segment as he introduced Toni Storm. He said, now and then someone comes along who redefines what it means to be human. He mentioned Groucho and Brando, and then said Toni Storm has redefined what it means to be a woman in pro wrestling. Said tonight's performance might be her best. It wasn't, but it was a nice little touch that they added to the Toni Storm entrance tonight for a match against Sky Blue.
I like that. I like how they brought this guy in. Since he's working for the network, and his credentials fall right in line with Toni Storm's gimmick. So I thought that was a nice little touch. That's them being creative and and getting things, little things that you don't think about to get invested in her gimmick. So I do appreciate that.
Yeah. This was actually pretty good. I thought this is one of Sky's best matches so far, especially this year. I like the progress of Sky Blue. I think she's getting better week in and week out. I like what she's doing with this gimmick. The gimmick almost has transformed her into a... and I said this before about Sky Blue, Jesse. I feel like she gets in there, and though she is a very beautiful woman, she is not afraid to go out there and just fucking wreck shit up. Like, she doesn't wrestle like you would think, right? She gets in there, and she is not afraid to take a fucking bump. She's not afraid to throw herself around and sell. She wrestles like a woman wrestler should wrestle, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, and she does have the tendency at times to be a little bit of the soft style, not in the sense of scared to take a bump. She will bump her ass off. That's not the thing. Like when she does her knee lift, against the ropes and shit. She's hesitant to make full contact because she doesn't want to hurt her opponent. And that I'd rather have that versus the polar opposite. So don't get me wrong. But I think she can do a little bit more stiffness. We don't need another Athena out there. We don't need her to start Serena Deeb in bitches. But I would make a little bit more contact with her signature moves. And I say signature moves because she does those same moves every time she has a match, which is fine. That's very normal. But if you're going to make those signature moves, they should be impactful. As much as we give shit for Toni Storm for that hip attack, my God, her opponent looks fucking concussed. Do they not? She hits it hard. So if they're your signature moves, they need to be impactful. That'd be my only criticism about what Sky Blue is doing in the ring right now.
Yeah, and speaking of Toni Storm, on what you said, Toni bumps herself as well and is stiff as fuck. So, she is in there, and she always makes her opponents look great because Toni's very good at what she does. So we got this match. It went about 8 minutes or so. Like Jesse said, Sky Blue's been getting championship matches. She lost the TBS title opportunity, and now she's getting a women's championship opportunity. It's like, why don't we give the woman some fucking solid wins and build her up as a legit contender? And then maybe when she's built up as a contender, build a story around it? I don't know. Yeah. It's just random matches every fucking week. It's not really doing Sky Blue any good if she's losing to that champion and this champion. At some point, people are going to look at her as, just a pretty face, and she's a loser. Come on.
Yeah, she is definitely a loser in that regard. She's always fucking losing, and no one's going to take her seriously. They may enjoy looking at her. No one will ever not enjoy looking at her, but she does lose way too much to the point of predictability.
Yeah.
Also, someone sent me something and on Twitter not that long ago, but Serena Deeb posted something on her IG, I believe it is. Mm-hmm. You have this story already yet?
No, I haven't heard this.
She put out a video explaining her absence. She was dealing with some very severe medical issues. I believe she said she was suffering from seizures. And It was not good. But she has recently been medically cleared, she says. So she is able to get back in the ring. And I'm not sure if she's at the stage of rehabbing right now or waiting for creative or both. But it looks like Serena Deeb is ready to get back in the ring soon.
And where is she?
At home right now? I don't know.
No, I'm asking, why isn't she on TV?
She was suffering from seizures. Did you not
I
hear?
know, I heard you, but she's medically cleared. Where is she? I'm asking TK and the fucking people who run this joint. Where is she?
She just dropped this video the other day. I don't expect her to be on TV in 24 hours, bro.
All right, well, we got fucking Riho.
Just relax. She's probably coming. She's probably coming soon, man. That was good because I was worried. What the hell is going on? I mean, she was killing it.
Yeah.
But, her health, man. And serious health conditions. So, I'm glad that she is getting better. I'm glad that she's okay and been cleared. So that regard, like you just said, she's good to go. TK, let's get her back out here.
Yeah.
If she's cleared, we need her back now. Or take your time and get creative for her. So don't just throw her in a fucking match. So,
well, Tony connected with Sweet Chic Music, and that took us to a commercial break. Storm is in control, and Sky Blue ducked some offense here, nailed the drop kick on Tony, step up knee in the ropes, spinning kick to the head, flying crossbody off the top. She goes for cover on Tony Storm for a near fall. Storm avoided Skyfall, which I do think that should be her finishing move, and hit a release German suplex, sending Sky Blue to the corner. Sky Blue then avoided the hip attack and hit a Sweet Chic Music of her own. Now, that's quite the dilemma, man. Who would you want to be hit with from Sweet Chic Music, Tony Storm or Sky Blue?
I'm a married man, so
Tony Brown in the chat. Where is he, man? We need an answer.
Oh, I saw Tony Brown super chat. Tony Brown said he OD'd on booty meat tonight.
Oh my goodness, man! I tell you, man, AEW's got the grade A. Seriously,
where is he? Here he is, guy. We had a booty meat battle, and JD and Jesse, I OD'd on ass.
You guys are crazy, man. You guys are crazy. You're gonna get me canceled one of these days, but I still love you. So we got Sweet Chic Music from Sky Blue. She followed with a big boot. Code Blue connected. They actually connected. Near fall. Storm then cut off Blue in the corner, hit a superplex with Tony posing for the camera, hit another Sweet Chic Music. Sky Blue briefly got a flash roll-up, only for Tony to counter into one of her own and got the victory. Now, the thing is, Sky Blue's shoulders weren't on the mat, and apparently with the roll-up here, it was a situation where her shoulders were kind of on Tony's thigh or legs, and it did not look good. It did not look good. Sky's shoulders were on Tony Storm's thighs and legs and nowhere near the mat during this 3 count. So I don't know if it's going to lead to a rematch or if they're just going to blow by it and pretend like it never happened, but a lot of people call that out. And Sky Blue loses yet another match. After the match is over, Riho's music hit. She made her return to a mild ovation. Riho pointed at the women's title before drop-kicking Tony to the floor. She teased a dive. Luther saved Tony, and Tony repeatedly looked at Riho and said, "How dare you?" as Riho was petting the women's championship. Oh, man, I can't wait, man. Riho versus Tony Storm at World's End, bro. Can't wait. Sure.
Why?
That's sarcasm, by the way.
Why are they doing this to us? Come on, man. It's not working. It's not working, man. I'm sorry, but
yeah, you know, I could picture Tony Khan in the creative meetings, you know, and the writing team is like, "Oh, all right, boss. What are we doing with the women's title at World's End? Maybe we should come up with a storyline. We got 4 weeks left to go." And Tony Khan's like, no. I'm gonna call Riho up, and we're gonna get Riho to come back. She's been on TV for what, 7 months? Let's put her in a title match.
Come on, man.
Really?
The stuff with Riho was not working. The stuff with Sheeta. The stuff with Sheeta is not working. The only time I enjoyed Sheeta's work is when she was in the ring with Serena Deeb. And I gave her an extra look and extra opportunities and tried to get invested into Shida after Serena went away. I just couldn't. I need Serena Deeb back in there for me to get into it with Shida, and Riho has just never worked for me on any level.
Listen, I know Riho has fans. Okay, I'm not a fan of Riho. I don't mean any disrespect to Riho. All I'm saying is, when was the last time this woman's been on TV? And how can you warrant a championship match in that time away? What are we doing?
It's not.
Are we just randomly throwing names at a wall? Did Tony Khan realize and look over the fucking payroll sheets? Oh, I'm still paying Riho. Let's call her up. We got nobody else. Meanwhile, this would have been a great fucking return for, I don't know, Serena Deeb or a Thunder Rosa or somewhere, someone along those lines. Meanwhile, we got fucking Riho.
I thought she was going to talk to Poppy Khan.
Maybe Poppy Khan was someone else, man. We don't know.
What the fuck? She trolled me on Twitter the other day, too.
She trolled you?
Yeah.
Why? How?
Because she put a video out with a controversial thumbnail, and I replied to it saying, "What the fuck? What are you doing in this fucking thumbnail? It looks like the click to your OnlyFans account." And she replied, she told me to fucking watch the video and find out.
Yeah, watch the video, dummy.
Watch the fucking video, asshole.
It's like that. It's like the people in the comment section when we actually engage in a fucking 15-minute discussion, and then, for example, last week we said Bryan Danielson didn't fire CM Punk. And then I got people in the comment section, I hope you guys know Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson didn't fire CM Punk. No shit, Sherlock. We just talked about it for 20 minutes. Where the fuck were you, man? Watch the video and shut up.
People don't fucking pay attention. People read headlines and then go react. If you do that, just so you know, there's like a 95% chance you're going to be way off on that one.
I know a lot of people want Mercedes in AEW, man. I don't know if that's going to be the case anymore. I see Mercedes' name being thrown around the chat. Mercedes wants that bag in order to be back in WWE. If I'm Mercedes, I'm asking for whatever the fuck I want, man. You want me back? Pay me.
What if she's already here?
Who knows?
What if she's already signed her deal low key, man? She's been courted by AEW.
She's training now?
Yeah, hanging around, sitting VIP at All In and shit. Who's to say she's not already signed and sealed and delivered? We don't know.
Who knows? Maybe she'll return to AEW, return to wrestling in AEW, and Tony Khan will put her against Riho.
Oh God, please! I'd rather her go to WWE. I'd rather.
Oh man,
I'll be honest, man. I'm sorry. I'm just being honest from what I see on TV. From the women's division that we have now, I would probably rather see her go back to WWE. Well, she'll do bigger and better things, because the women's division just cannot get on point over here. I don't know why. It just cannot.
No, Joey Clemenza says sometimes Thunder Rosa is in the venue. No, she's not. Thunder Rosa hasn't been here in fucking months.
She's doing Spanish commentary. She's there. She's doing vlogs from the venues. She's there.
I'm talking about this venue. I'm talking about in the stream.
Oh, in this stream? Oh,
Yeah.
Oh God, no.
No, she's not here. She hates us.
No, yeah, she's not here.
Yeah. Yeah, she doesn't like us anymore.
No.
Even though I gave her a taco truck outside the beer garden, man. Fuck, I'm just gonna rename it Jesse's Tacos.
I told you to give me the fucking truck.
Listen, man, I gotta make updates to that. I gotta get my guys to fucking put the dark horse in the intro now. It's like, what am I doing, man? Where am I getting this money from?
You gotta redo all of it just to fucking touch up that car.
I know. Now change the color, guys. Come on.
Jeez, is it the same color?
No, that's a different color.
What color is the dark horse?
Midnight black.
What colors do they come in? Just that one?
Just that one, yeah.
That one? Okay.
Yeah. Or midnight blue, whatever they're calling it. We got the video package highlighting the history between Christian Cage and Adam Copeland in the main event. Then we go to Jay White and Jay Lethal in the Continental Classic. Pretty academic stuff here. Nobody expected Jay Lethal to get the victory. And Jay White is victorious here. He is now 6 points in the tournament, and they are going back and forth. Lethal battled back when things kind of got a little hairy for him there. He had a lethal combination into a torture rack and almost got some offense to a point where he could win the match. He did the top rope elbow drop instead of a moonsault. White managed to kick out. Lethal wanted a lethal injection, but he fired off a combo of kicks. Jay White answered with a big knee breaker, suplex in the corner. Brain buster on Lethal for 2. Got a nice little chop exchange here. Both guys trying to rake each other's eyes and throwing shots. Jay White hit a sleeper suplex. Both men traded finisher attempts until Jay White shot blocked the leg out of Lethal. And he was going for a lethal injection on at this point. After trading pin attempts, White got a high stack win with Lethal trying his best to kick out. So Jay White, I was very surprised, Jesse, that Jay White didn't win with his finishing move. He won with a fucking roll up or a high stack pin. It's like, okay, Jay Lethal's not winning the tournament, and Jay White didn't win with his finishing move.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't quite get into the flow of this match.
No, because you knew the outcome already. It's like, all right, might as well give the points to Jay White.
Well, I mean, I don't think that was it, man, because I knew Brisco wasn't gonna win. But I mean, I still got into the match was just, the match was still good.
Yeah.
I don't know. It wasn't a bad match. It just didn't feel like it went anywhere. I mean, I don't know. It's really hard to fucking explain, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the chemistry was off. I don't know, because it was not a bad match. It was just like, kind of like this is just here. Maybe the outcome being predictable had something to do with it. But like I said, I was all into Mark Briscoe's match, so I don't know what it was, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Jay Lethal obviously was there to take the L, and he's now, along with Briscoe, mathematically eliminated from this tournament. Now, Jay Lethal can play spoiler, so we'll see what happens with the rest of the tournament for Jay Lethal and Mark Briscoe going into the next 2 weeks. Main event time. Christian Cage and Adam Copeland for the TNT Championship. Adam Copeland apparently requested this match, Jesse, in Montreal. A lot of people were like, well, why are we getting this match and getting it tonight and not at the pay-per-view? I'm like, normally I'm quick to jump on something like this. And I said last night when Andrew Baydala drew on TNT, I'm like, all right, you know what? Last week we talked about this potentially being a bait and switch. We know Tony Khan doesn't really do those types of things. It's a Vince McMahon thing. And I said, if the match does take place, fine. I'm here for it. I want to see it. I'm invested in the story that they're telling. Great. As long as the ending gives us a second match and we have another 3 weeks of build here where we can get match number 2. So I figured that there'd be some nefarious things here happening at the end and Christian was going to sneak a victory or steal one from Adam Copeland. And that's exactly how it ended up with these two. And I thought tonight was an excellent match for the first match here in AEW. And, I know a lot of people were disappointed with Shayna Wayne playing a factor in this ending here, which we'll get to how we got here.
I wasn't going to mention her.
You weren't going to mention her?
No.
I mean, listen, let's be real here. I mean, Shayna Wayne, she had to watch Adam Copeland deliver a concerto to Nick Wayne. So, is she with Christian? We don't know. Or is she just getting back at her son or at Adam Copeland for doing what he did to her son by her hitting him with the championship tonight and giving Christian the victory? It was some sort of revenge for Shayna Wayne tonight. What did you think of her involvement here, man? And do you see what Copeland did to Nick Wayne as a potential reason why her actions came off the way they did tonight?
No. This made no sense. It was a big pill to swallow for us to get behind Nick Wayne siding with Christian Cage. Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, it made sense in only like in non-kayfabe ways. It made sense, to put him with, Christian Cage, let him mentor the guy as a young wrestler in the company. Yeah. Great. But this is stupid. Okay. This is just fucking stupid. I'm trying here. Does everyone just fight with Christian Cage and then side with him. Everyone. Luchasaurus is getting smacked around. I mean, come on, man. He
stole Nick Wayne from Darby.
He's
Shayna Wayne now. He bagged the MILF, bro. He bagged the MILF.
Come on, man. You got to meet us halfway with this stuff. This has gotten a little bit. Come on, man.
Man, you know how they count down from 10 during Christian's entrance, and they got all those fucking positive words about him in the fucking the video screen behind them. You know, number one's gonna be MILF Hunter.
Yeah, I mean, you got me with Nick Wayne, man. You got me with that one. Didn't see it coming. Very nice little spin move on that one. Makes sense. He wants the father figure. Okay, but now his mom's too. I can't make sense of it. Let's see if they can make sense of it for me. First off, the second she got into the ring, I knew instantly.
Of course.
Instantly what she was doing. I don't expect her to be able to sell me on it because that's not what she does. You know what I'm saying? So that being said, it made no sense. As she got into the ring, I said, why is she gonna hit why is she gonna hit Adam with the fucking chair? Why would she do that? Why would she do that? And sure as shit with the title, like, and sure as shit, there it goes. I'm like, I don't understand.
Well,
this.
we got 3 weeks left, bro. We don't know why she did what she did. Like I said, she could be getting revenge for Adam Copeland concertoing Nick Wayne.
The Nick Wayne that turned his back on his mom.
Yes.
She's out to get revenge.
A mother's always going to love her son, bro.
Okay. All right.
Listen, we needed something to happen here to get us to Long Island, man, and get the second match. You knew there was going to be a second match. You knew this was not going to be it.
Let me ask you this, dude. If Nick Wayne's dad was here and he went to go kick his son's ass for what he's been doing, would she get mad at her husband?
Probably.
No, she wouldn't. But he's not here, and Copeland is being the father figure that her husband would have been if he was still here, and she gets so pissed that she whacks him with a belt. I want to hear what they have to say to explain this so I can finish saying it's stupid. So I'll just say it's stupid, and next week I'll get to the pit, but I'm pretty sure this is fucking stupid.
All right, so we got Shayna Wayne here factoring into the outcome. Adam Copeland loses. We'll get to how that happened in a minute. So we're clearly getting a second match here. And I don't know what type of match it's going to be. We could get, obviously, it's going to be for the TNT title. We could get a ladder match. Edge and Christian are known for ladders. That means they basically fucking made the ladder match a thing in pro wrestling. As you guys know their history. 250 years old in ladder matches. Can you imagine that?
Please be careful with these guys.
Or, Jesse, I know we alluded to it earlier, a possible steel cage match.
Yeah.
You know, keeping Luchasaurus or Kill Switch out, Shayna out, Nick Wayne out. Because Adam Copeland's got nobody, man. Darby's fucking training to climb Mount Everest. Sting is fucking rolling around with Ric Flair. Yeah, rolling around with Ric Flair.
Everybody sides with Christian Cage.
Yeah.
Everybody. He's like the guy, he's like that cult leader from the Twin Flames fucking show, man. Everybody just mindlessly follows Christian Cage. Like mid-feud. He don't even get to finish the feud. Like, let's see where they're going with this.
What these two guys did tonight, they went about 15 plus minutes. I thought what they did was excellent. They looked good. Yeah. They didn't miss a beat. And yeah, clearly they're fucking in real life best friends. So you know that this match was going to go off and be fucking perfection. And that's exactly what they did. After a little stare down, Copeland slapped the shit out of Christian, applied a choke, and Christian was left to just scurry away. Sheamus and the 10 beats, bro. Quite the influence on Adam Copeland here as Copeland wrestled Sheamus in his last match in WWE, paid homage to his buddy Sheamus, who could very well end up in AEW next year. Did the 10 beats across the chest on Christian on the apron. Nicely done.
Very nice.
So he then launched Christian into the barricade. Copeland repeatedly smashed Cage into the announce desk. We go back inside. Christian wanted a low blow for a DQ, but only for Copeland to block it and step on Christian's hand. We Go back out to the floor. Copeland punted Cage in the face against the barricade and then posted him on the steel post. Cage finally got a cheap shot in and pulled Copeland's arm to drive him throat first into the steel, tossing Copeland into the front row, and we go to commercial break. So Christian was in control here. Copeland tried to come back. He was taken out by a big elbow. Cage wanted some corner punches. Copeland bit at Christian's hand, followed up with a leg sweep off the second rope. Christian sidestepped a spear through the ropes. He wanted a big pendulum kick, but Copeland countered and hit a diving clothesline off the second turnbuckle. Cage then came back with a drop toe hold into the steps. They go back inside. Christian goes up top, hits a beautiful-looking frog splash for a 2. Cage then wanted a spear, but Copeland countered into an impaler DDT on Christian for a 2 count. Cage cuts off Copeland in the corner. Copeland wrenched at Christian's bad hands. That was a spot here in the match, or a story in the match. He slid through, connected a running Liger bomb for a 2. Copeland avoided the kill switch off of an eye poke, turns it into an inside cradle. Cage went for it again, but this time Copeland hit a big sit-out slam and then applied a crossface. Cage got to the ropes to break it. Copeland then came back, repeatedly hammering forearms, signal for the spear. Cage leapfrogged the spear and hit the kill switch, but Copeland kicked out, or the unprettier, and kicked out. Cage charged for a spear, but Copeland sidestepped, accidentally running into the referee, Bryce Remsburg. He was knocked out. This is where the fuckery started to happen. So Christian realized what had happened, and he punted Bryce before getting the TNT title. So insult to injury. Cage then charged with the title, but he and Copeland collided for a double down as they collided in the middle of the ring, butting heads. Shayna Wayne all of a sudden walks down to the ring and grabbed the TNT title. She's in the ring now. She gave a long look at Christian before she turns her attention to Adam Copeland and smashed him, very weak, I should say, with the title right in the face. She walked off. Cage connected with a kill switch, placed Copeland's head under the title, gave him a curb stomp, and Bryce recovered long enough to make the pin. 1, 2, 3. And that was basically it, with Christian holding the TNT title up over Adam Copeland's body, and the show went off the air. Great match. Great match. It lived up to the billing from Montreal. It was a very good match. I'm still invested in the story. I think they're going to have a steel cage match at World's End. I think it's going to be even better than what we got tonight. We can't really complain. But like Jesse said,
they didn't do too much.
They didn't do too much. And like Jesse said, we got to wait till next week to hear the explanation of why Shayna did what she did. And now, after Christian told her to go punch her clock in at Denny's, is now siding with Christian Cage. I don't know.
You know what happens every time a woman puts their hands on Edge, right?
She gets speared.
Nope, here comes Beth.
No, we're not getting Beth here.
What's Beth gonna do with Shayna fucking Wayne?
She's gonna squeeze the life out of her.
It seems to be that's normally how it goes. Edge gets gets crotched or gets beat up by a woman, and then out comes Beth. She just happened to be in the crowd on the back, whoop somebody's ass. But yeah. I don't know. This angle makes no sense. And if we do get Beth, I'm gonna say they're just doing it just to get Beth on.
All right, you could say that next week when Shayna gives her explanation.
Let's see. I can't wait to hear this one.
So I thought it was a very solid AEW Dynamite. Stories, their top 2 stories progressed ever so slowly here. The Devil and his henchmen. They took MJF out. We got little baby steps leading into next week. We will hear from Samoa Joe next week on what happened. And then Christian and Copeland. This is continuing. It's literally their top 2 storylines here for AEW playing out going into World's End. Continental Classic was also great tonight in week 3. We got John Moxley and Swerve Strickland at 9 points. Switchblade Jay White with 6 points. Roosh with 3 points. Roosh, Jay Lethal, and Mark Briscoe. Roosh is not eliminated yet, but he will be. Jay Lethal and Mark Briscoe, 0 points. They are now mathematically eliminated. They cannot win the champion or the tournament or the championship. Jay White, John Moxley, and Swerve Strickland are the top 3 contenders in the Gold League. Brody King, 6 points in the Blue League. Claudio Andrade and Bryan Danielson have 3 points. And Eddie Kingston and Daniel Garcia have 0 points. So those are the current standings for the AEW Continental Classic. And then Dynamite next week. Winter is coming. Moxley versus Swerve. Jay White versus Mark Briscoe, which should be great. And Roosh versus Jay Lethal. So Roosh needs to win that one. Otherwise, he's eliminated. I don't know why Jay Lethal shouldn't win that one next week. He's mathematically eliminated. At least give him a fucking win next week. We know Roosh is not winning the tournament. It's all right. Jay Lethal gets the victory there. Hangman goes one-on-one with Roderick Strong. Samoa Joe will be there to speak on what happened tonight. And the Von Erichs are returning to Dallas, coming to Dynamite for the first time. I'm assuming that is to hype up their movie coming out.
Yes, I can see that.
I can't wait to watch that movie. That movie looks fucking great.
Yeah,
I like myself a good wrestling cinema, you know?
I'm thinking, hoping, maybe it looks like they could be better than The Wrestler.
Yeah, I thought The Wrestler was great too.
The Wrestler was great. I think that's my favorite wrestling movie.
Randy the Ram.
Yeah, man, that was good.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much, man. We had 1,800 people in here on a Wednesday night. Kind of slow for a Wednesday night, but, AEW really isn't as scorching hot as they used to be, you know?
Nah.
A lot of people are down on the product. Attendance figures are down. Ratings are down. Interest is down. Kind of go with the flow, man. Hopefully World's End. World's End's going to be great. Tony Khan is Mr. Pay-Per-View. No doubt about it. He's going to deliver, but the television shows right now are just not, they're just not clicking, man. I don't know what it is. You know?
Yeah, I don't know. I would, as a fan, I would rather have the position that the company is in right now and still putting on, at least good television.
Yeah.
And good wrestling. I'd rather have that than the company flourishing, doing great, making money everywhere, but the creative sucks. I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad they're making money, but it won't be for me because I'm not gonna watch it because I'm not entertained.
Yeah. Guys, we thank you. We thank you for your support. We really appreciate you being here tonight, man. Please hit that thumbs up. We have 1,800 people in here still. I would love if you guys can get as close to 1,000 as possible. Super chats are open. Get them on in. We're going to read through your questions, comments, and concerns. Go check out all the other content on the channel. And please follow Jesse and I on social media at JDfromNY206, myself, and at ChyTownSmark on X. And you guys can go follow Jesse on YouTube as well. His profile and YouTube page are linked at the very top of the description of this video. OTS Tribal Queen becomes a new member. Thank you, OTS Tribal Queen. I don't know if that is legit or not, but it has a golden microphone next to your name, so YouTube probably is fucking up. Joseph Taylor with a $5 super chat. JD, Jesse, a dream tag team match you would like to see one day. Me, the Young Bucks versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. How about FTR versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn? Or FTR versus DIY again?
I want to see the Bucks and the Usos.
FTR versus Imperium. Yeah, Bucks Usos. I mean, is that even a dream match still? Yeah, kinda, right?
It hasn't happened and is never going to happen.
No. Hiru with a $5 super chat. Whose house? Swerve and Moxley should go to a draw. When Swerve takes that title from MJF, he should. You run that match back as main event on a pay-per-view. I don't know if Swerve is going to take the title from MJF, but I do see Swerve and Mox going to a draw next week, yes. Tony Brown with a $4.99. Guys, we had a booty meat battle. We did, Tony. It was glorious.
Yes.
Michelle Moran with a $2 super chat. Maybe the Devil and Company is the Don Callis family. No.
No, but
absolutely not.
Like I said before, there's a reason why they're off TV, man. Something's going on.
Yeah.
Takeshita or what? I don't know.
Well, Takeshita is in a tag team match with Will Hobbs on Rampage against who? Christopher Daniels and Matt Sydal.
I'm assuming something is going on. Something behind the scenes. Like we kept saying, where's Serena Deeb? Where's Serena Deeb? Get her on TV. You're dropping the ball. Turns out she's suffering from seizures. Okay, something was going on.
Yeah.
Something is going on with the Don Callis family. I'll just wait until they can fix it.
Maybe they're waiting for Sammy G to come back.
I don't know, but I'm starting to feel like Sammy is a little bit missed now. I'll be happy to see him come back.
Yeah. Michelle, thank you for the 2. Stick World Mayor with 24 months. Last month, neck surgery. This month, Golden effing Mike. 24 months at last. Love to all the VIPs, JD and Jesse, OTS for life. # suck it geeks. Thank you, Stick World. Thank you for being here with me for 24 months, brother. Fixes a bind with a $10 super chat. Man, what a great match between Storm and Sky Bluty. All that impressive booty meat galore and those hip attacks with all that hip meat, with all the whiplash. I almost died, says Fixes a bind. Man, you guys are fucking horny motherfuckers, man. I'll tell you that right now. God. I'm here to talk wrestling and be professional. Meanwhile, you're talking about fucking booty meat and Sky Booty and all this other nonsense. Lord Jake Coyle with a 26 months. Felt like I missed an opportunity not having Roosh beat Moxley tonight, but the match was a banger. Moxley ain't losing, bro. Sorry to tell you. Tony Brown and his booty meat dreams, $1.99. JD and Jesse, I OD'd on ass. Okay. It's crazy. You guys are unbelievable. Phil with a $9.99. Thank you, Tony. I thought it was too early to see them go at it, but I was wrong. After seeing that, I think it was a great way to have Christian retain, and it sets up the stage perfectly for the rematch at World's End. Yes. We just need an explanation on Shayna Wayne. That's all. Golden Boy with a $5 super chat. The whole Hangman being called the devil and MJF being hit by a beer bottle all tied together to make you think it's him. Another wrinkle in the story. I think so. I think it was a little way to deter from what's actually going on here. It's the wrong Adam.
Yeah.
Hollywood Eric with a 8 months, celebrating my 8th month as a VIP with my favorite AEW podcasters in the IWC, JD and Jesse. Screw the haters, you're both are the best. Continue being great. Thank you, man. I mean, who else has a better post show than us? I don't think there is anybody. There's nobody. We love Solid Monster, but I'll buy him a whiskey. He's number 2. Philip Blase with a $2 super chat. You guys get too much shit on X. Love the show. Thank you, Philip.
Yeah, I had to keep it closed for a while.
Yeah. Jason Barker with a $5 super chat. If it makes the Yankees feel better, my FSU football team went undefeated this year and got screwed out of the playoffs. I'm still pissed. Bro, the Braves had 103 victories, and they lost in the first round. I know how you feel. The Cake with a 27 months. Do it like JR and open up a cold one. Well, someone did that to MJF tonight.
Yeah, they did.
Baby Shaq with 19 months. What's up, fellas? Hope you guys are well tonight. Did you see Chris Jericho with Chris Van Vliet next month going to Raw and AEW in New Orleans? OTS. I did not watch Van Vliet with Jericho yet. Or listen to it. I usually listen to that stuff when I'm on my way to the gym. Did he say anything important?
I haven't listened to it yet either.
Jason Barker, thank you, brother, for the $100 super chat. Really appreciate your generosity as always, man. Israel with 30 months. I would like to see a 3 between you, Jesse, and Ticket Drew. Once in a while, all 3 of you are number 1 in the IWC. Thank you, Israel. Well, we did that several Dynamites ago.
Yeah, we did it.
Yeah.
We'll do it again, but we already did it.
Yeah, only when it calls for it. Yeah. Will Chisholm with 15 in super chat. Why do women get a title match for no reason? I have no idea. It's a good question. Now, is Riho going to get a title match with Tony Storm? Wow. Tony Khan, please book better so Mercedes Moné wants to come here. Will, you are speaking no lies, brother. You're speaking no lies. Also, he says, it felt like Sky Blue and Willow were getting some type of push, but now they are just taking L after L now. Yeah. Sky Blue changed her entire fucking character, and we didn't get one single fucking ounce of a payoff. The hell's going on?
No.
Tony Brown with a $1.99. I am a CEO of the NBA club. Nothing but ass. Oh, my goodness.
We need help, Tony Brown.
Tony Brown, you are a fucking addict, my friend. Delightful Entertainment with a $4.99. Watching this during a long car ride, hoping I don't swerve when I drive. MJF is the devil. We never seen him being knocked out, only after it. Yeah, I mean, they want you to think that. And Bo Rodriguez with a 4 in Super Chat. He says, beat down Adam Page on Swerve. swerve out the tourney. Could be. Like Jesse said, he could get attacked backstage for all we know. You know? And that is it. We're done, man. We're wrapping up. I'm going to jump on Destiny 2 and get myself some fucking loot tonight, man. Because I didn't play today.
Yeah, I'm going to jump in.
Jesse and I appreciate your generosity and your support here tonight, man. Thank you for the 1,800 tonight. We really appreciate everything. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Please hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Go check out all the other content on the channel. You'll probably see me in the sub boxes with some news tomorrow, fresh new content, and then Friday I'll be in Atlantic City, New Jersey. We'll be doing SmackDown down there. Friday's a big day, picking up the new Dark Horse. There will be video and pictures on X, so look forward to that. And please make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, man. Marcus with a $9.99. Great show tonight. Just showing some support. Keep up the good work, guys. OTS for life. Thank you, Marcus. Jedi Joker with the 2. JD, are you going to stream Warzone 3? I don't play Warzone, Jedi. And Phil with a $4.99. Can't wait to be at World's End. Will there be a meet and greet? Just wondering. I will let you guys know, Phil. I will let you guys know for sure. See you guys tomorrow and see you guys Friday for CM Punk on Friday Night SmackDown during Tribute of the Troops. Until then, guys, take care, and I'll talk to you all later.
No way to even stand. Passed out, there was no warning. Wait for the outstretched hand. My soul will always find you.